Hey guys, it's Ariel, and I'm going to give you a quick update video on Owen. Both boys are actually napping right now, hallelujah, and my house is a disaster area, so that is what I should be doing right now. But first I'm going to make a really quick video and give you an update. So, Owen had his surgery on the 7th of November, so that makes him a month and a week post-op, I guess, and he's been doing fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I can't remember everything that I said in my last video, but pretty much he's healed a lot faster than they had anticipated. His scar on his lip and everything, he's been doing great. They took his stitches out like 2 weeks post-op, and anybody who's been following me on Instagram, you know, I'm sure you know pretty much all the details that are going to be in this video. He had his 6-month checkup the other day at his pediatrician's, and he is now up to 12 pounds. I've been monitoring on our home scale just to make sure that his weight was doing, you know, decent after his surgery, and it just hovered. He just kind of hovered around 11 and a half pounds after his surgery, and now he's up to 12. So for 6-month-old, that is not even on the chart. But they're not, you know, super concerned about it yet, because obviously, you know, it's because of all the struggles that he's had. So yeah, they're just going to watch him real close, and he's going to be going back every month for weight checks and what have you at the pediatrician's. So otherwise, he's really, really healthy. Like, he hasn't been sick. He's not even really barely had a runny nose. Like, he's just been a really healthy kid. And his, like, even his thighs have a little bit of chunk to them. He's just his own shape and size. He's just making his own chart, I guess. So I'm just so happy with the recovery and everything. It just couldn't have gone better. The 2 weeks post-op, he was supposed to be cup-fed, and that was not fun at all, but he did amazing. And mostly he had to be fed with a syringe, just kind of more or less force-feeding him, because it was just so uncomfortable for him, and he just did not like the cup and everything, but we managed to get food into him one way or the other, and now he's using a Pigeon bottle. Before he was using a Haberman, and I showed that bottle a couple of times, but I know in my video on pumping and how he was doing with that. But this is his new bottle. It's a Pigeon bottle, and basically, well, from here down is just a Medela, just a basic Medela bottle, but the nipple and the top is what's unique, and it basically just looks like any other nipple, any other bottle, but it has a special valve inside. I hope it's focusing, but this thing pops out. It is a one-way valve, and it lets the milk reservoir in here, and the nipple is like hard on this side. It's like thick and hard right there, but then very soft and pliable on this side. So that basically his chewing motion and just the motion of his tongue is what's bringing the milk out. There's no suction necessary, just like with the Haberman. And then the opening here is a Y cut. It's like a little Y cut into the nipple. And then you put the valve in, and you just screw it on just barely tight enough, because there's a little vent hole here, and that also helps you to line it up with his nose, because that's right on top. So just line that up with his nose, but you just barely tighten it. Otherwise, the air will have a hard time getting through that vent. So much better to use, more user-friendly. And anybody can feed him now, and it's not a struggle, and he's been doing marvelous with it. He can even just hold it himself. And so that has been great. They're easier to clean. It's just more like a normal bottle. So I was so excited at that. Pigeon bottle worked out. I wasn't sure, you know, if he was going to adjust well with that, but it went great. And so he's just moving right along, and he's up to his normal intake for milk, and he's getting a combination now of formula and breast milk, and then I'm fortifying that with extra formula, just trying to beef him up. The pediatrician's given me a little recipe concoction for his milk, and then we got him these MAM pacifiers. Up to now, he really hasn't been too successful with, you know, with the pacifier, and ordinarily I'm not a major fan of pacifiers, but sometimes they're just really nice to have, like when they're crying in the back seat or whatever, you know, just to calm them down. And so these MAMs, for the 6 to 18 month size, they're kind of bulby here, and so it's a little bit easier for him to keep it in his mouth. He is developing great. I mean, he really wasn't able to have a lot of tummy time, and so it seemed to me like he was going to be behind maybe in different things, but he rolls everywhere. He just rolls and rolls across the room, and that's how he gets places. And now he's starting to get up onto his knees. He's been doing this push-up thing for a while, where literally his pelvis is the only thing touching the floor, and his legs are curved up this way, and he's pushed up off the floor with his hands this way. He just looked like this little Pringle. And he's been doing that for a while now, and now this last weekend we were at my mom's, and he's just starting to get right up onto his knees. He hasn't really gone forward at all. He kind of just goes backwards. He'll get up and then he'll go backwards. And so he's been scooting himself into the random corners of the room and then getting upset because he's backed himself into a corner and can't get out. So crawling is not too far around the corner. And for being 6.5 months, almost 7 now, wow, he'll be 7 on Wednesday, 7 months. Jeepers. I guess, you know, that's really not that bad. It's not, I mean, Liam crawled at 6, a little bit, around 6 months, something like that. And he was off and he was crawling. So I guess that's not too much behind that. He stands. He locks his knees and he goes up and down a little bit. With you holding his hands, I have to hold his hands, but he just loves that. He gets so proud of himself when he stands up and you're holding his hands, and he gets this crazy look on his face, and he gets so proud of himself. So I think the only thing that concerned me just a wee bit is that he's not sitting by himself yet. He sits fine in the bumbo. He sits if you know, kind of hold him a little bit. But yeah, he doesn't sit unassisted, and I don't think that he probably will for another month yet, probably. But anyway, he's on his way, and so I'm trying to think other update things. He's not eating solids yet. He honestly doesn't even show an interest. I was waiting until he was done, like fully healing from his surgery, to do that. But I think I'm going to be doing a kind of a combination between baby-led weaning, like where you just cut stuff up and have him chew on it, or like that, and a combination of some purees and stuff like that. But I think I'm just going to put them into reusable squeeze pouches, because he did good with a syringe. You kind of just point it towards the corner of his cheek or whatever and just kind of squirt it in. He rolls it around, swallows it. He did good with that. And he loves to chew on everything, but I'm just thinking that because his palate is just wide open, that like the spoon going in there and a spoonful of food, it's just going to kind of come right out his nose, which is normal for cleft palate babies, you know, for it to come out their nose, and it really doesn't bother them and whatever, and that's normal. But since he does really good with the syringe feeding that he was doing after his surgery, I'm thinking that he probably would do good with purees in a reusable squeeze pouch. So I got some from Amazon. Little Green Pouch, I think, is the brand. I'll have to show those in another video. But so yeah, so I'm getting ready to do solids with him. And I think around Christmas time I'm gonna play with that a little bit. But as they say, food before 1 is what, just for fun, something like that. and he really just doesn't show an interest, and it's better for him right now to be getting calories from the milk than, you know, than from food, but I also want him to, now that he's in that kind of that window where they start to learn about food and solids, I want him to experience that and just play around with it, and that will be fun. It'll be messy, terribly messy and fun. So yeah. Oh yeah, one last thing. On next Monday, he will be getting nasal conformers in his nose, which will help to shape his nostrils a little bit better into a circle shape. So that's coming up, and that's really the only thing he's got going for the rest of the month here is those. And he'll have those for, you know, a couple months, and they will be kind of just taped in, wedged in his nose, and then taped a little bit to his cheeks. So we'll be back with taping and all that kind of stuff again. But nothing as, obviously, as invasive or aggravating as the NAM. Yeah, that's all he's got going. So thanks for watching, and I will try to keep you updated a little bit better here now that life has flattened out. It's going to get a little bit more exciting here for Christmas, and we'll be doing some cool stuff. So I will record it and hopefully upload it for you guys. Alright, we'll see you later. Bye. Look it up here. Hey, look up here. Look who woke up. Hey, oh, Crankies. Oh, you want to eat? Do you want to eat? Oh, buddies, there you go. There you go. Somebody woke up. So much for cleaning my house. Yeah, are you going to help me clean? Help me mess it up, silly. See? He just does it all by himself. There you go. Just hold your bottle. Did you get your belly full? Yeah. Oh. Yeah.